My girlfriend of 6 years recently quit her job to travel the world. After 2 months of traveling, she's considering ending things. I'm blindsided. What now? For reference, I will call myself Michael and her Lisa. But for more information, we have had a truly wonderful relationship. We met 2 years before dating, and at the time I was dating someone else. Lisa was one of my flatmates at university. I'm in the UK, and we bonded very quickly. So we were friends for a while. My girlfriend at the time broke up with me, and I had a brief fling with Lisa, no sex, but kissing, etc. We were very close as friends, and this felt very natural. However, I moved out a week later and moved to the other side of the country. At the time, I was in a very bad place for a variety of reasons, and we slowed down talking as much. Then a year later, she randomly reached out again, and we started talking. And we just reconnected completely. I was just graduating from university, and she was just about to enter her final year after taking a gap year for work experience. She came to visit me at the university, and at this time I fully expected it to be just a friendly visit, but it quickly became more. Soon after, she was back home, and we were chatting every day for literally up to 12 hours on FaceTime. We did it so often. I fell completely in love with her, and soon after, we became official. We've lived together for the last 4 years, having moved in together about 6 months before COVID. We had an amazing time. We adored lockdown, so much time to just develop our relationship and love each other. We have had such a wonderful relationship, always being able to communicate with each other about our feelings, understand each other, and always insisting on not allowing ourselves to become too codependent. We lived our own separate lives, and we liked that. When we were together in our flat, we lived in our own wonderful bubble full of in-jokes and words we ascribe our own meanings to. We always likened the strength of our relationship to the fact that we were friends first. No jealousy ever, rarely ever arguments, and when there were arguments, we always managed to handle them well. We've talked extensively about our future, we've said we want to be married to each other, I have jokingly proposed to her dozens of times, always mortifying her, and we've even picked out names for our future kids. We're not ready for all of that yet, as we are building our careers, but it always felt like this was it. So she's had a job for the past 4 years that she ended up hating. She quit earlier this year and has been saving up to go traveling. She went to the Philippines and is now in Australia. She's been there for 2 months now. When she first went, I told her that she needed to fully embrace it and not worry about me. The arrangement was really simple. Our tenancy in our flat ended at the same time she planned to travel, so I've moved in with my friend and she's away for 3 months. Our goal, which we discussed a lot, was that when she returned, she'd find a new job, we'd find a new place, and we'd resume building our lives together. Slowly, we started talking less and less, and while at first I was happy, there were little things that were ringing alarm bells. Such little things, but when you know someone so well and when you know your relationship so well, these small things stand out. She'd not reply for days at a time but still post on her Instagram story. She'd post things, like feeding a wallaby, but not share them with me. I love animals, and she loves how childlike I get around them, and she always said she feels sad seeing animals without me because she can't see my reactions to them. But now she's not sharing them with me. I brought this up 1 month into her travels, firstly framed in an I miss you kind of way, and it landed well, and she said she tried to talk to me a bit more. But she just withdrew even more. I brought it up again 2 weeks later, this time with a bit more of a maybe we can try to talk a bit more? I also mentioned at this stage that I regret telling her before she traveled that I would be fine with not talking much and that, while I truly meant it at the time, in action, it was hurting me more than I expected. She understood and promised we'd talk more. But we talked less. A few days ago, I brought it up again, and this time, it was different. Each time, she's always insisted that she is in a bubble and that she needs to just focus 100% on the travel. I asked her if she could just give me 5 minutes every few days just to say hello, but she said she wasn't sure she could even do that. This really upset me because we are 6 years old and we have always had such a strong relationship that I was surprised at how unwilling she was. I said we needed to talk about this properly over the phone, and she suggested the following night. Her time in Oz would make it around 8 to 10 a.m. my time. I was ready at that time, but she postponed it an hour as she was going for a sunset walk and then going out for dinner with her traveling friends. Then, it was postponed further, but I could no longer make the call as I had a client meeting. I told her how upset I was that she prioritized a sunset walk over our relationship, that she had already had 2 months of them, and that I was only asking for one evening so we could talk about the future of our relationship. She agreed we needed to talk about the future of our relationship but said she couldn't do that until she returned home in 5 weeks. I said I couldn't wait that long and quickly called her. My client was late, luckily. Essentially, she said she's so confused right now because she's in a bubble of traveling, but she's just not sure if this is what she wants anymore. She floated the idea of wanting to move to Australia. She clearly doesn't see me in her future anymore. I'm just so blindsided because we were so close, strong, and happy before, and now that she's traveled, It's just totally changed everything. I asked her if she still loved me, and she wasn't sure she could answer that. She was very much down the middle about everything, clearly confused about the situation, but not wanting to cause too much interference to her bubble right now. My impression was that she wanted to just ignore what was happening until she came back. So where do I go now? I'm so lost, so confused, and so hurt. I want to be with her and spend my life with her, but she just might not want that now.